Hello and very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. You're watching Question Hour, a unique show which is presented on this channel that gets you the questions from the upper house of the parliament and the answers given by the ministries and the departments. I'm a host, Rajat Kain. I'm joined with my colleague Kriti Mishra.
Thank you so much, Rajat. And we hope that our viewers are taking good care and keeping safe.
Well, Question Hour is essentially a very important part of parliamentary proceedings where all the proceedings of public good takes place and how government and the various ministries are taking forward their good work. Now, broadly speaking, there are three categories of question: start, unstarred and short notice questions. Start are the ones where answers are given directly on the floor of the House by the minister and the head of the department concerned.
And unstarred questions are those questions of which written answers are given by the respective departments or the ministries. And our show focuses on all the important unstarred questions asked by the members of the upper house in the previous sessions of Rajya Sabha. So Rajat, let's begin the show.
Well, first question of this edition of Question Hour that was asked by member Nath Thakur from Ministry of Rural Development. The member sought whether it's fact the government under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana proposes to link each small village with all-weather roads in India. What is the timeline fixed to achieve target of this plan, and what are the number of roads being built under the said scheme that are incomplete in the country till date, and the number of such villages where roads are yet to be built?
And giving a detailed reply to this question, the government says that it launched Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana in December 2000 as a one-time special intervention to provide rural connectivity by way of single all-weather road to eligible unconnected habitations of designated population size of 500 plus in plain areas and 250 plus in northeastern states, Himalayan states and the UTs, and also the deserts and tribal areas as per the 2001 census, in the core network for uplifting the socio-economic condition of the rural population. In the critical left-wing extremism-affected blocks as identified by the Ministry of Home Affairs, additional relaxation has been given to connect habitations with population of 100 persons and above according to 2001 census. The unit of Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is a habitation and not a revenue village or a panchayat. All the eligible and feasible habitations of 250 plus and above population size were targeted for all-weather road connectivity by March 2019. And as on 4th of March 2020, out of the 1,78,184 eligible unconnected habitations of designated population size identified for coverage under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, 1,68,078 habitations have been connected through all-weather roads, including 16,086 habitations connected by states out of their own resources. 4,300 habitations have either been dropped or are not feasible. Of the remaining 5,806 sanctioned habitations, states have reported that road network to connect 2,158 habitations are stalled as of now due to reasons such as non-receipt of forest clearance, pending land issues and court cases, etc. The balance 3,648 habitations are targeted for completion at the earliest. And joining us on the Question Hour show is Rajya Sabha MP Mr. Nath Thakur, who asked this very pertinent question. Mr. Thakur, welcome to Rajya Sabha Television and thank you so much for joining us through this virtual platform.
धन्यवाद
सर, जैसा कि आप जानते हैं कि हम सदस्यों के जो बेहद महत्वपूर्ण अनस्टार्ट सवाल होते हैं, जो अतारांकित सवाल होते हैं, उन्हें उठाते हैं अपने इस प्रोग्राम पर। और अगर मैं पिछले सत्र की बात करूं तो आपने रूरल डेवलपमेंट मंत्रालय से एक सवाल पूछा था ऑल वेदर रोड के बारे में। क्या आपका मत है सरकार का जो जवाब है उसको लेकर?
कीर्ति जी धन्यवाद। हमने जो पूछा था पूरे हिंदुस्तान के बारे में, तो अभी तक बिहार में 54,871 ग्रामीण सड़क बन गए। तो वो तो बन गए, लेकिन अतिवृष्टि और बाढ़ के कारण वो अभी शिथिल हो गए। जहां हम बाढ़ के कारण गांव में नहीं जा सकते हैं और अन्य मोहल्लों में, शहरों में नहीं जा सकते। इसलिए बिहार नीतीश कुमार जी के नेतृत्व में जो सरकार बनी है उसमें तो रोड के बारे में हमने सफलता पाई है, लेकिन पूरे हिंदुस्तान की स्थिति अभी तक मुझको नहीं बताया गया कि पूरे हिंदुस्तान में ग्रामीण रोड की क्या स्थिति है और कहां कितने बन गए हैं। ये हमारी सरकार से अपेक्षा होगी कि हमको बिहार को छोड़ के अन्य प्रदेशों की भी संख्या बताई जाए।
आगे क्या सुझाव है आपके सरकार को?
मेरा सुझाव है कि जिस तरह बिहार में नीतीश कुमार जी ने ग्रामीण रोडों का विकसित किया है, 94,871 किलोमीटर रोड बनाया, उसी तरह अन्य प्रदेशों में कितने रोड बने, ग्रामीण को जोड़ने वाली सड़क कितनी बनी, ये संख्या अभी तक मुझको जानकारी में नहीं दी गई है। हम सरकार से जानना चाहेंगे और सरकार से निवेदन भी है कि निश्चित रूप से अन्य राज्यों में बना हो उसकी संख्या मुझको बता दे। मैं आपको उदाहरण के तौर पर मैं कहूं कि मुझको समस्तीपुर जिला से कर्पूरी ग्राम आने में 1 घंटे लगते थे। 2005 के पहले 1 घंटे लगते थे। अब मैं 12 मिनट में 12 मिनट में मैं पहुंच जाता हूं समस्तीपुर जिला से अपने गांव में। उसी तरह 1.5 घंटे लगते थे कर्पूरी ग्राम से ताजपुर कोठिया जाने में। अब मैं उसको 20 मिनट में कोठिया से अपने गांव आ जाता हूं। उसी तरह चैनपुर समस्तीपुर प्रखंड में है, वहां से आने में मुझको 2 घंटे लगते थे अपने गांव में आने में 2005 के पहले, लेकिन अब मैं आधे घंटे में पहुंच जाता हूं अपने गांव में। ये बिहार की स्थिति है। यही हम चाहते हैं कि केंद्रीय सरकार जिस तरह बिहार में नीतीश कुमार जी ने और शैलेश जी ने जो ग्रामीण रोड बनाने में दिलचस्पी ली, इसी तरह हिंदुस्तान के हर एक राज्य में वहां के मुख्यमंत्री और वहां के ग्रामीण मंत्री दिलचस्पी ले, जिससे ग्रामीणों की समस्या दूर हो जाए। विकास तो होता है कि जैसे हमको सब्जी उपजाए और हमको बाजार में देना है तो हम 10 मिनट में सब्जी तोड़ के सवेरे सब्जी तोड़ करके हम बाजार में पहुंचा देंगे। हमको दवा लानी है तो 10 मिनट में हम गांव से चलेंगे और दवा लेकर चले आए। हॉस्पिटल हमको जाना है तो 10 मिनट में हम हॉस्पिटल पहुंच जाएंगे, हमारा इलाज हो जाएगा, गांव के लोगों का इलाज हो जाएगा। ये फायदे हैं ग्रामीण सड़क बनने में। भारत का विकास तो हो ही रहा है और वो जब ग्रामीण सड़कें बन जाएंगी तो और विकास हो जाएगा। आपको मालूम हुआ कि बहुत आदमी को अभी भी आप टेलीविजन पर देखती होंगी या अन्य सदस्यों के प्रश्नों में आप देखते होंगे कि अभी भी बहुत दूसरे राज्यों में पुल के अभाव में, रोड के अभाव में कंधे पर लोग लाद करके, खटिया पर लाद करके मरीज को ले जाते हैं हॉस्पिटल।
जी रामनाथ ठाकुर जी, आप हमसे जुड़े वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म के माध्यम से, आपने हमसे ये महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी साझा की। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद राज्यसभा टीवी से बात करने के लिए।
बहुत धन्यवाद कीर्ति जी। हम लोग जैसे साधारण जनप्रतिनिधि का भी आप प्रश्न देखती हैं और मुझको प्रोत्साहित करती हैं, इसके लिए मैं अपनी तरफ से, अपने परिवार की तरफ से और अपने गांव के लोगों की तरफ से आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत, बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन।
And moving on to the next question asked by member Revitalizing Singh, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. And Mr. Revitalizing Singh has asked the government about the percentage of arable land in the country, especially in Uttar Pradesh, and the percentage of land that has turned barren. And the member has also asked the government about the remedial steps being taken to convert the barren land into arable land.
Well, giving a detailed reply to the query, the ministry said that as per the latest land use statistics for the year 2015-16, the state-wise details of percentage of arable land and the barren and unculturable land in the country, including Uttar Pradesh, is given in the annexures. Now, as per the Desertification and Land Degradation Atlas of India prepared by the Space Application Centre for the period 2011-13, 96.4 million hectares, that is 29.32% of total geographical area of the country, is undergoing the process of desertification and land degradation. Approximately 6.35% of land in Uttar Pradesh is undergoing desertification and degradation. Now, as per the special report on climate change and land of Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change released in August 2019, land use change, land use intensification and climate change have contributed to desertification and land degradation. The report highlights that climate change, including increases in frequency and intensity of extremes, has adversely impacted food security and terrestrial ecosystems, as well as contributed to desertification and land degradation in many regions. In order to reclaim and develop barren lands, Indian Council for Agriculture Research through Indian Institute of Soil and Water Conservation has developed several locations specified bioengineering measures to check soil erosion due to runoff of rainwater. Now, Central Arid Zone Research Institute, Jodhpur, has developed sand dune stabilization and shelter belt technology to check wind erosion. The Council, through Central Soil Salinity Research Institute, Karnal, and All India Coordinated Research Project on Salt Affected Soils, has developed reclamation technology, subsurface drainage, bio-drainage, agroforestry interventions and salt-tolerant crop varieties to improve the surface drainage and productivity of saline, sodic and waterlogged soils in the country. Now, ICAR, through national innovations on climate resilient agriculture, demonstrated climate resilient technologies, namely drought tolerant short duration varieties, crop diversification, integrated farming systems, soil and water conservation measures in 151 most vulnerable districts in the country to minimize vulnerability against climate change. Now, agriculture contingent plans for 651 districts have also been prepared to cope up with the climate adversity. National Afforestation and Eco-Development Board, Division of Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change, is implementing National Afforestation Program for ecological restoration of degraded forested area, under which an area of over 2 million hectares has been approved for afforestation at the cost of rupees 3,874 crores. Various other schemes like Green India Mission, Fund accumulated under Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority, Nagar Van Yojana, also help in checking degradation and restoration of forest landscape. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change also promote tree outside forest realization that the country has a huge potential for increase in its trees outside forest area, primarily through expansion of agroforestry, optimum use of wasteland and vacant lands. Well, clearly a detailed response to a very important query. Now, moving on to the next question that was asked by member Parimal Nathwani from Ministry of Atomic Energy. The member asked whether domestic investment in production of atomic energy is not sufficient in the country and whether suggestions have been received from various parties to permit FDI or the foreign direct investment in atomic energy sector.
Responding to this query, the government says that there are presently 22 reactors with a capacity of 6,780 megawatt in operation in the country. In addition, 9 reactors with a total capacity of 6,700 megawatt are presently under construction at various stages. The government has also accorded administrative approval and financial sanction for 12 more reactors with an aggregate capacity of 9,000 megawatt in June 2017. The capital investment for the nuclear power projects is being funded with a debt-to-equity ratio of 70:30. The equity part is funded from internal resources of NPCIL and government budgetary support. Responding further, the government says that the present policy, which is consolidated FDI policy of government, puts atomic energy in the list of prohibited sectors. However, there is no restriction on FDI in nuclear industry for manufacturing of equipment and providing other supplies for nuclear power plants and other related facilities. Government of India has amended the Atomic Energy Act 1962 in 2015 to enable the licensing of NPCIL's joint ventures for setting up nuclear power projects. To boost domestic investment, joint ventures have been formed by NPCIL with public sector majors National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, that is NTPC, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, IOCL, and National Aluminium Company Limited, which is NALCO. And let's move on to the next question asked by member Vijay Pal Singh Tomar, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani Siddha or Homeopathy, or the Ministry of Ayush. And the member has asked whether it is a fact that National Rural Health Mission seeks to revitalize public health and also Ayush so as to strengthen the public health systems and the action plan adopted by the government to revitalize local health traditions.
Well, replying to query, the ministry said that revitalizing local health traditions and mainstreaming of Ayush into public health system is one of the objectives as envisaged in framework for implementation of National Health Mission (NHM) or National Rural Health Mission. The mainstreaming of Ayush is one of the core strategies of National Health Mission, which seeks to provide accessible, affordable and quality health care to rural population. Under National Health Mission, engagement of Ayurveda, Yoga, Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Homeopathy, doctors and paramedics is being supported, provided they are co-located with existing district hospitals, community health centers and primary health centers, with priority given to remote PHC, that is primary health centers and community health centers. The support of Ayush infrastructure, equipment, furniture and medicines are provided by Ministry of Ayush under shared responsibilities, and information, education, communication, behavioral change communication and activities for Ayush are also being supported under NHM, that is National Health Mission. NHM also supports skilled birth attendant intrauterine contraceptive devices, postpartum intrauterine contraceptive device, training of Ayush doctors to address the shortage of skilled health care personnel in the rural areas. Ayush doctors also being engaged under Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Karyakram. Well, time for a very short break. More on the other side.
हम सब कोरोना वायरस की वजह से चिंतित हैं। कुछ बातों का ध्यान हम सब रख सकते हैं। पहली बात, भीड़ की जगहों पर सोशल फंक्शंस में ना जाएं और अगले कुछ समय तक ज़रूरत ना हो तो लोगों से ना मिलें, क्योंकि ये वायरस एक इंसान से दूसरे इंसान तक भी फैल सकता है। दूसरी बात, अगर आपको लगे कि कोई बीमार है, उसे बुखार है, कोई खांसी है, तो उससे दूरी बनाए रखें। अगर आपको खुद को बुखार और खांसी है और सांस लेने में तकलीफ हो रही है, तो अपने नज़दीकी डॉक्टर के पास जाए या हेल्पलाइन नंबर 1075 पर कॉल करें। तीसरी बात, अपने हाथ बहते पानी के नीचे साबुन से धोएं, कम से कम 20 सेकंड तक। जितनी बार हो सके उतनी बार धोएं। चौथी बात, घबराएं नहीं, अफवाहों पर बिल्कुल विश्वास ना कीजिए। किसी भी शंका को दूर करने के लिए कॉल करें इस नंबर पर या लॉग ऑन करें इस वेबसाइट पर। आखिरी बात, ये किसी को भी हो सकता है, इसे नज़रअंदाज ना करें। कोरोना वायरस को हराया जा सकता है और हम सब मिलकर इसके फैलने के तरीके को समझकर इसे हरा सकते हैं।
Welcome back. You're watching Questioner. Well, moving on to next question that was asked by member CM Ramesh from Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. The member asked whether the government have constituted any committee to suggest steps to boost production of fertilizers in the country.
While responding to this query, the government says that no such committee has been constituted. However, the government had announced new investment policy NIP 2012 on 2nd of January 2013 and its amendments on 7th of October 2014 to facilitate fresh investment in the urea sector and to make India self-sufficient in urea sector. Under NIP 2012, read with its amendments, Matrix Fertilizer and Chemical Limited has set up a coal bed methane-based greenfield ammonia urea complex at Panagar in West Bengal. The commercial production of Matrix started on 1st of October 2017. Chambal Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited has also set up a new brownfield project at Gadepan in Rajasthan. The commercial production of CFCIL started on 1st of January 2019. Each of these units have the production capacity of 12.7 LMT urea per annum. The Government of India has also notified the new urea policy NUP 2015 for existing gas-based urea manufacturing units on 25th of May 2015 and revision of energy norms under new urea policy 2015 on 28th of March 2018 with the objective of maximizing indigenous urea production. NUP 2015 has led to additional production of approximately 20 lakh metric tons per annum as compared to 2014-15 from the existing gas-based urea plants, and the total production of urea during the year 2015-16 was 244.75 LMT, that is highest ever urea production in the country. The total production of urea during 2016-17, 2017-18 and 2018-19 was 242.01 LMT, 240.23 LMT and 240 LMT respectively, which is significantly higher than 2014-15. And moving on to the next question asked by member Sanjay Singh, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Coal. And the member has asked whether it is a fact that according to the latest CAG report, Coal India Limited and its subsidiaries have not followed the prescribed environmental protocols and safeguards.
Well, giving a detailed response to this query, the Ministry of Coal said, according to the latest CAG report of 2019, an assessment of environmental impact due to mining activities and its mitigation in Coal India Limited and its subsidiaries, some deficiencies were observed, such as non-existence of corporate environment policy approved by the Board of Directors as mandated by Ministry of Environment, instances of non-compliance of environmental regulations short of utilization of CSR amount as mandated by the Ministry of Environment during 2013-18, slow implementation of Jharia Master Plan, lack of expertise in BCCL to assess the extent of underground fire, no progress in implementation of solar projects and inadequate monitoring mechanism for environmental activities. Various remedial measures taken for strengthening the environmental management system to ensure environmental sustainability in mining operations are as following, listed by the Ministry. The Coal India Limited and subsidiaries have adopted their environmental policy reflecting principles of sustainable development with thrust on environmental and care and protection. Continuous ambient air quality monitoring stations are installed in large mines of Coal India Limited. 18 number of CAAQMs are already installed by Coal India Limited and many more will be installed in the years to come. Biological reclamations is carried out by EIA and EMPs and mine closures plans progressively during operation of mine. Annual biological reclamation targets are achieved through close monitoring. Progress of reclamation is monitored through satellite surveillance. Now, subsidiaries of Coal India Limited have offered abandoned quarries to fly ash dumping as per guidelines issued by Ministry of Environment and Forests, CPCB and State Pollution Control Board. Coal India Limited and its subsidiaries have adopted Corporate Social Responsibility or CSR as strategic tool for sustainable growth. CSR fund is allotted and spent as per provisions of the Companies Act 2013. Now, appropriate actions under Jharia Master Plan are being taken by BCCL and the concerned authorities of the state. The progress in implementation of Master Plan is monitored by HPCC constituted by MOC. Now, National Remote Sensing Center, ISRO, Department of Space, Hyderabad has surveyed the surface fire and submitted a study report in 2018 showing area under fire is reduced to 3.28 square kilometers from 8.9 square kilometer. Now, till date, 7,714 houses have been constructed by BCCL and 4,884 BCCL families shifted, constructed of 8,138 houses are in progress. Now, Jharia Rehabilitation and Development Authority, State Government Authority has constructed 6,352 houses and 2,152 families have shifted. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching this edition of Question Hour. Keep following Rajya Sabha TV for more national and international stories across the world. Thank you.